now it's time to clean up the mating surfaces. This one actually cleaned up pretty good. There's just a little bit there. So I'm going to use a scraper to kind of take off what's there. And we're going to do this here and on the primary cover itself. Okay, now we got the gasket itself. There are a couple of guide pins on here. That's a plus. If you ever done any work on cars, you know that trying to keep gaskets in place while you install them can be a pain. Now, if possible, I like to put these things together dry, unless it specifically calls for the use of some type of sealant. And I'm just getting them started. I'm not even driving them all the way home. I just want to get them started. Because like I said, right now that the gasket didn't look too good. Once I get a few in, though, I can pull it back where I can actually see something, you know. And as much of a hurry as I am to get riding again, I'm not going to screw something up to make that happen. So we're going to make sure that all the bolts are going through the gasket where they're supposed to. All the right bolts are going in the right place. Before we snug anything down. Once I have all the bolts in place, I'll go ahead and look around them, around the edge, while the cover is still able to be pulled back a bit. Make sure that I didn't pinch the gasket. And two, before you lock it down, make sure that you've got everything back together underneath before you say you're done. Run a little checklist through your mind. Did we tighten the compensating sprocket? Yes, we did. Did we tighten the primary chain tensioner? Yes, we did. Did we set the primary chain tension? Yes, we did. Did we get the clutch main shaft nut tight? Yes, we did. We got the pressure plate installed. We got the bolts tight. All of that's done. The clutch adjustment's done. So yeah, we should be in pretty good shape over on this side of the bike. Okay, yes, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to take my little gun and I'm just bumping them down to where they seat. I'm not really putting any torque on them. I do want to torque these. Just a little, just so they seat. All the way around. Now for the torque. They're only 120, 108 to 120 inch-pounds, so that's not a whole lot. Okay, and that's what we got here. We got this set at 120. Let's bring that down. The torque wrench is going to affect your final torque. Because now once we got that, there's no particular order call for, so I'm just going to run until it clicks. I don't know if you can hear it. But all I need is to feel this little ratchet click. Now this torque wrench is not cheap. Again, I did this kind of work on bikes and cars for 35 years. You can get a beam type torque wrench that's very inexpensive and it's hard to break, very easy to use, but you do have to use it properly. If you don't know, ask, or it won't do you any good. So those are all tight. Now we can add the oil. Okay, now we're going to add the oil. 26 ounces. This is not a full bottle. This is the one I took some out to prep the clutch. And there's graduations on the side. So I know there's 26 in here, and that's what I'm going to put in. And yeah, the funnel looks kind of nasty, but it's clean where it's supposed to be. Add in slow. Of course, the bike upright. Or you may find it coming back at you. Now, another way to check it on this model is to remove the derby cover and look at where it comes up to the pressure plate on the clutch. But I don't want to remove the cover. No need to. 26 ounces is good, fine and dandy. All right. Again, the whole purpose is keep the chain fed and keep the clutch wet, keep everything on the side lubricated. So, you know, if I'm an ounce off one way or the other, I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. Maybe I'm sure overfill is worse than underfill. At least by, you know, a small amount. Don't take that the wrong way. Should be all right. And then we have the new gasket. That's a heavy-duty gasket too there, baby. And then some of these bolts are long. Two of these bolts are long, two are short. If I remember, it was the top. So here we go. Yes, that looks good. Remember I told you, if you have about half an inch left, quarter to half, is better than nothing. See, that won't go. So it's going to go there and there. That's where the two long ones are going to go. And then there's sealing washers on these puppies too. A lot of splash going on. So we're going to take the sealing washers out. And then we'll just get them started. Now, I'm kind of tempted because these are both like rubber gaskets. I'll probably reuse these because it's not a paper gasket. You know, this is a pretty nice gasket. And just like we did with the cover, I'm going to just snug them down. Oh. You know what we're doing wrong? God, these are, what do we call them? Torx bits. Yeah, so got to use the right tool. All right, so got that. Snug those down. Torx spec, look that up. And this pile of stuff we got here. The inspection cover screws are 60 inch pounds. What that tells you is when you're looking at this, they're not much, so you don't want to crank them down. Like I said, if you're kind of new to working on your own stuff, it's really easy, especially on fasteners that go into aluminum, to screw the threads up. And you don't want to do that. There you go. The primary chain is installed. We're ready to put this puppy back together and fire it up and go riding.